Hi guys, we're back for another video. We're here for another review this morning. I'm super tired. I'm afraid you might be able to see, but I finished End of Men and it's time to talk about what's happening in this. This book, or the premise of the book, is super interesting since it's a pandemic that wipes out 90% of the male population, leaving only women behind. And yeah, I was intrigued on how the author was going to tackle the topic because, we had a pandemic, not too recent. And the author makes it clear that she did actually write the book before the COVID-19 pandemic. So let's dive into the details. So I was super excited getting into this. The first few pages, we get to know the doctor who discovers, patient zero. And I thought this would be medically gripping. And I think I was 4 characters in when I thought, oh yeah, this book is going to be great. So far, it's really interesting to see how everything develops. And then the characters became more and more. So I'm not sure how many characters are in this book. There were too many for me to follow along. So let's maybe just give a general idea of what I rate this book at. I'd give this, I'm afraid I can only give this a 2.5. And I had much higher hopes for this. Reason being, there are so many characters, but there's only one male character in here. I think that is, Toby, and he also just writes in letters. So you don't really get much of his emotional state. Considering that it's men that are affected most and that might have some of the more emotional terror that you could be writing from a male perspective, I think it's a little bit of a missed opportunity. There's only female characters that narrate the story, and they are all so similar that I had so much trouble keeping track. And that's not even where the problem lies for me, because they're all so similar. All the Catherines, Amandas, and Lisas, it's hard to keep them separate. I don't know which character I'm reading when I'm picking up this book to start reading again after I've read this every day. After just the day, I am already at loss. Who am I reading? And I think in part that is due to the characters all being of similar backgrounds. Most of them are somewhat in the medical field, which makes sense. So, they'll be educated, obviously. But the book circles around these characters, not just from let's say, to get their medical input. It's mainly circling around their dealing with the crisis, losing their husbands, their sons, their fathers, and just how it affects them emotionally and how they are dealing with it. And I think in that regard, I would have wanted to get some more diverse perspective on it, because they also have a very good standing. Like, the man isn't the only breadwinner in the house, because I think in the reality that book is placed as it is now, there's still a lot of men that are the earners in the family, and that kind of disregards that completely, because if so many men are falling away, dying, there's not much of that population left. I would assume it would have more impact on the characters from the way they're struggling. They are obviously grieving, but they don't have any problems beyond their grief. It's like, they're all sad, clearly, which would make sense, but they don't struggle with survival. Despite there being so many characters, we don't have characters from many other countries other than Scotland, England, and the United States. There is a lady from France there, I think, which, I mean, it's just Western European, right? So, and then there's one woman from, let me think, she's in Thailand, but she's from the Philippines. But we don't get to know much of her. And she, well, essentially they all have, sorry to take a spoiler here, but they all have sort of happy endings, I think. And they're all very driven people, and they will essentially all find their place in the world after it's ended, which is too easy. It's just too easy. And I think a third in, I kind of lost interest, which is so sad because there's so much opportunity in the storytelling. I thought this was going to be so much, I would rate this so much higher than I now did. One thing I found really weird, and that would be a spoiler now, is the way that women just change their sexual preference after, well, all the men are gone. It's such an easy way to go about, well, I'll just change my sexual preference because there are no men, so now I'm queer. It doesn't work like that. So I think that there are some things, it's just too simplified. Like, we as people don't work like that. I'm not sure how much research she's done into the medical part of it. I read online that not everything about this is correct, which I'm not into medicine. I'm not too sure. The beginning was promising. I think some of the medical things were also simplified. I have a friend, she's more into the medical field. I'll ask her about it. So much opportunity, but little risk taken, I'd say. I think 2.5 is valid. And now I'm excited to pick my next book from my TBR. So I got my trusty little TBR jar, and I'm excited what we're gonna read next, because the year started off kind of good, which was kind of important as well. So I didn't want to read, I have some physics books in there. I'm just looking at my TBR stack looming at me. And I really hope I didn't pick these ones, which am I even gonna read those? I'm not sure. I have to at some point. So we're gonna pick this one. What is it? Unlearn Patriarchy. Well, I've just read a book that was very female centered, but I'm gonna read Unlearn Patriarchy. I wanted to read this one so bad. I'm gonna get this one as well. Okay, so basically everything that I've just criticized about the other book. This one has many authors, but it's different. It's not science fiction. It is, essays by people on, well, it's unlearning patriarchy. It's, I've just been excited. I'm not sure what all they're writing about. I'll need to just have another read through that. I think this will be good. I think this is everything that I've been missing in the other books. So, yes, this is written in, like, this is in my German version. I'm not sure. I think this must be existent in English as well. I'm going to double check that and put the title up for you. I actually thought this was English because the title is English. It could be that the title is different in English. Sometimes in Germany, we do real weird things with translating titles, not just of books, but of movies. I'm just astounded by what we end up naming things sometimes. It's a science for itself, let's say. But I like the title, it's good. So I also like the cover a lot. I'm just excited about the book, I think you can tell. Um, Also, the next book club pick is awaiting. We're gonna choose that one on Tuesday, and fingers crossed it's gonna be something from my TBR, so I can get on with that. Well, we're 3 books into this year, and well, only 2 are from my TBR, since the other one was from the book club. So there's quite a lot still to go, but I am in my positive mindset. So we're gonna get this, and I'm gonna read this one. So yes, until the next time, and happy reading. So good, so good.